Watch crime. Watch crime. Today we're going to talk about watch crime. And recently there's been a video released of some undercover police in London. Now they're walking down the street, pretending to be a little bit inebriated, to sort of see if or try and sort of capture some of these gangs that are targeting people for watches. Now, as they're walking down the street, we'll have a look at the video on screen. A gang starts to approach them now one by one, and all of a sudden they're surrounded by a lot of people. Um, it seems to go from a deserted street with two men walking down it to all of a sudden them being surrounded and a gang of people threatening to steal their watch. I don't know what the people had with them. I don't know if they're weapons or they were just threatening because they were in numbers that they would beat them up. But how terrifying is that? Luckily, then obviously backup came. Few people got caught. A few people obviously got arrested, and then a few people got away. But it is really scary, and it's made me think a little lot. I know it's made me think a little bit, and I know Paul Thorpe has done a lot of sort of campaigning towards this. I know you can't go around flashing your cash and flashing things about in sort of the street, but you shouldn't be getting to a point where you're terrified to wear something because you might get mugged or hurt wearing it. And it's a terrifying age. And what does this sort of mean for sort of like society? And it just goes to sort of show that you can't have nice things in this day and age, and it is a bit scary. And hopefully, sort of like the police being on this now, and I know there's a documentary on it on, I think it was Panorama. I know they missed the mark a little bit, but still, it's highlighting it. I know Paul Thorpe has been on. I know Paul Thorpe has been on Sky talking about it. And hopefully by pushing this now and sort of talking about it, it will start now catching the people. And there should be some serious repercussions for those that are doing it. Not only is it terrifying for the victim, um, people could get hurt. And it's an awful world out there. And I don't like that fact that people work hard for their money and they want to enjoy it. And then they're having these items ripped off them. Now, I know you should have your watches insured. And if somebody does sort of accost you, then a watch is worth nothing compared to your life. But what does it mean for the luxury watch world and watch business? And it sort of made me think a little bit. And this is sort of call me sort of out on this one and sort of have a go at me for it. But it sort of makes me sort of sympathize on why people might buy replica or fake Rolexes. Now, I'm not saying they're a good thing, but I am saying if you want to wear your Rolex, but you're scared the real one's going to get taken, you can get some very good clones these days. You might keep the real one in the safe at home so it doesn't get taken and wear the fake one out. Because at the end of the day, what you're going to do, you're going to put it in your pocket or hide it until you get into the restaurant, put it on in the restaurant, the real one I mean now, and then take it off, then hide it again when you walk out. These people are going to be targeting those type of places. They're going to be watching people coming out with them. So unless you fall out to the nightclub or fall out of the restaurant into a taxi, if you've got to walk anywhere, you are potentially a target. So what's the other alternative? Not opportunity. What's the other alternative? We just don't wear our luxury items. Now, what's the point in having them if we can't wear them, enjoy them? We shouldn't be forced to wear them just in the house. So I'm really sort of a big fan of Paul and what he's doing. I know he started this database now where it's going to be sort of like tracking watches. And if watches are being stolen and being sold on, they're going to be tracked down. But again, it doesn't get over the terrifying sort of ordeal that somebody might have to endure. If you are now a victim of this and all of a sudden you've been sort of like targeted and you've been held up again, I think was it Amir Khan maybe was held at sort of like at point with a weapon, and I believe he had a watch stolen, and that was in broad daylight on a street. I'm pretty sure it was Amir Khan. Like, it's the ordeal that affects people. It's not losing the item. If I lost an item that was worth a lot of money, it's insured, yeah, I'd be a bit gutted, but you can get another item, you can get the money back. If it's been stolen on a database, you can track it down, but you can't recover from that ordeal. And these things are going to have lasting effects on people. It could affect them mentally, it can affect them physically, depending if they get hurt. And I think more needs to be done to try and stop this. I think there needs to be more presence on the streets. Um, I think people who are sort of stealing these watches probably need to have higher sentences for them. Um, but these are my thoughts. So again, just a shocking video and watching it, and how quick this gang sort of descends on the two gentlemen and sort of like backs them against the wall with nowhere to go. And even though that's their job and they're pretty brave doing it, I do think that obviously it's a terrifying ordeal for them as well. So that's sort of today's watch thoughts. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think as well about the idea of sort of wearing a clone out as sort of like your safety watch. I don't particularly agree with clones, but I can sort of see a valid point for some people to argue why they wouldn't wear the real one and they would wear a super clone out. I have heard that people do that. I've heard that people, for every watch they buy a super clone so they don't have to put the real one at risk. Again, for damage as well. Like, you don't want to damage your £30,000 watch or maybe more. So let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe. Again, thank you for your support on the channel. I look forward to seeing what you have to say.